Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. Surprising slime video, actually, because I didn't think we were going to get anything. Maybe we would have gotten that kind of question mark skill preview for tomorrow morning for the second unit if we were going to get a second unit. But we actually got a little bit more than normal. I already logged into my phone, so I don't get the 1 day left. But everyone should have this 10% 5-star battle ticket in their box because there's technically 1 day left until the start of the second 2.5 anniversary. Tuesday morning, but it's already Monday over there. So, time zones exist. So, one full day and change left, but there's actually a content preview in the news and something interesting on Twitter. So, we have a preview 4.9 new content info, and the addition of skill fusion and valor traits to Octagram Demon Lord battle characters. So starting on Tuesday at 9 a.m. UTC, so that's before the live stream starts. The live stream starts at noon UTC, so 3 hours prior. Octagram Demon Lord battle characters, which you can gain as companions by exchanging emblems, will be given skill fusions and valor traits. And then we have the Predator battle announcement, which is just kind of weird because it's like, yeah, no shit, it's coming. Like, why do we need to know this early when there's literally nothing else about the 2.5 Annie in here except these two things? But Octagram Demon Lord characters getting a skill fusion is interesting because they already got it. Right? They got it in the very first batch that happened a year ago, over a year ago now. So for them to get it again is odd. I mean, the introduction of Valor traits, I mean, sure, whatever. None of these characters are really mainliners in Valor Cup, anyways, but they don't have it, so you might as well bring them up into kind of new meta stuff. But like Lumi, she already has this skill done, right? It used to be 20% up to a cap of 60, and now it's 20 up to a cap of 80. And then it used to be like a single target heal, and now it's everybody gets healed. So I mean, it's a good skill, right? It's made her viable in end game content for the entirety of the game. Essentially, she's been that good, and they made her better with the skill fusion. So now the question is, are they going to skill fuse the skill fuse? Or are they going to touch the unskill fused skill for all these characters, right? Because, like I said, all the Octagram characters have a skill fusion one way or another. It's just that, do you have them at level 100? Because you need to get, the emblems necessary to buy the first copy, and then 5 more dupes of them. So it's not very friendly to get any of these characters, and Lumi is far and away the best one to even attempt to skill fuse. So this one, I'm going to assume they're not going to touch. So they're probably going to do the second skill. So increases all souls alt gauge increase by 50%, and then nerfs protection gauge by 25% for 3 turns. Honestly, if you turn the skill into all souls all gauge increase by 50% and delete this part, call it good, she'd be one of the best support units in the game, right? If this is just every soul gets 50% regardless of what color it is, regardless of what gauge it is, and you take away the stupid nerf that can actually work against you in some fights, I think that'd be really, really good. But then if we move down to the non-skill fusing, it's like I have Space Millum done, right? I recently got her up to 100. I haven't actually skill fused her yet. I don't even remember what it does. Um, Crit rate 40% and guard power goes into guaranteed crit and guard penetration. Okay, I mean, it's whatever. But what's her second skill? Guaranteed Pierce and Pierce Power for 15%. I mean, I would just see them up this and maybe increase the turn count. So it's like 3 turns of Guaranteed Pierce and 30% Pierce Power, kind of matching what Tempest Elite Shuna does, but for herself for 15 points. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. But then you get down to like the garbage, the actual like not good units. All right, Guy adds burn to his stun, which I'm never bringing him on a full fire team regardless, anyways. That's his first skill fuse, which I haven't done. And then his second skill is a triple orb change. 3 greens to 3 oranges, and then if it was level 10, it'd be 10% gauge increase. You drop it down to like 25 points. I think that's all they can really do. If they make it into a 4 or something, that'd be interesting. I don't know. Dino, 60. I don't even know what he does. So the fact that they're going to get new skill fusions is odd because they could skill fuse a skill fuse and make it even better, quote unquote, than it is now, or they could do the other skill. And I think they're going to do the other skill to try and make them viable again. But realistically, only two of these characters are honestly that really that good nowadays, and it's Guy and it's Lumi. Anybody else is kind of it's not good, very super niche, not really usable, not in this meta, not in this time framing of the game in general, where you have EX characters that are doing millions of damage, and you got these old Octagram units that don't have an EX alt. Their skills are outdated and weak, so I don't know if even a second skill fusion can save this batch down here, minus Guy because he's here for the stun. But like these four, I just don't really get it, but we'll find out on Tuesday, I guess. But that's not the only thing, because earlier in my previous video, we got the skill preview for the mystery quote unquote character. So let me go find that again. Yeah, so we got this. We got Space, EX 5-star character, Noon UTC on the 9th, mystery, zero cost mystery. Fount of Wisdom means it's 99.9% Blanc, but they just posted an update to this, and they gave us the first skill way early. But now we have skill 1, max cost, or max level 0 cost. Increases alt damage until the end of battle by 10%, and pierce power until the end of battle by 15%. For a 0 cost skill on what we have to assume is a single target physical space Blanc, which if you put her with the Primal Demon team as I've got it set up, okay, well maybe not this one. Hold on, let me change it out. So this, right? She would take the spot of this Hinata probably, right? So Hinata's giving the element buff, but now if we're stacking alt damage on top of Jean, who's giving 170%, so 180, 190, 200. If you use a skill 5 times, that's a lot of points. Yeah, sure, but another 50% alt on top of 170, plus stacking pierce power that you're getting pierce rate from Diablo for 0 cost. I mean, she's probably going to fall into that rabbit hole that I'm afraid of, is where DPS characters get shoved to the side because they have no support viability in future teams. But, I mean, this is going to make her a very, very strong single target DPS. And we don't get that many Earth element units, honestly, that are going to, work against her. Right? Earth is the most nerfed category in this entire game, so she's fairly safe. And Wind gets quite a few. So, I mean, if this is her first skill, and it's, 10 and 15, and she has another 0 cost skill, that's another 10 and 15%. Like, okay, so imagine if she does 10% alt, 15% pierce, she does down here 10% weakness strike, and 10% physical, or just straight up attack, right? She's going to be getting, 10, so 20 plus 30, so she'd be getting 50% buffs for 0 points if they keep these numbers the same on differing attack buffs. 50% buff for 0 points on a single target unit on a nuking team. And then you're meant to use this with Violet, where you use these two skills like 2-3 times a turn, skill points allowing. And all of a sudden, your 170% alt buff with Jean by herself turns into like 300% alt if you have the points. And that's crazy to think about, right? That is some massive big mommy damage that Blanc is going to be doing here. And again, like, we don't know for sure 100% yet if this is going to be a double featured banner, because we might get a new Jean who's going to do something crazy. Like, she might replace Shizu over here. And then it's like, what is she going to do if she actually shows up, or if she's going to be in part 3 in like another week or so. So like, the potential exists for us to have a double banner right here, or it's a single and then a single somewhere in like the 16th, 17th range, just in time to start Jubilee, because the meta switches over on the 25th. We know that. So we have this week right here where they could drop Jubilee like on the 16th, and we can get the third banner on the 16th, and that could be Jean. Or they could just do both of them here, and then we'd have just this week to do Jubilee and stuff, and then follow it up here. I don't know. But if this is how they're going to come out of the gates for the 2.5, like, quote unquote anniversary, even though it's the pre half meta anniversary bullshit that they like to do, this is a lot of power. This is a lot of power. 100% physical, guaranteed pierce, pierce resistance, full orb changing from greens, triple orb changing from oranges, pierce resistance down, alt swapping, stacking alt and pierce power for herself, stacking something else here, maybe, and then most likely a single target alt right here. Like, this is going to be the hardest hitting team in the game, without question, right? Visions of Coleus was the hardest hitting team in the game, and it was Jean doing it. And now Jean's going to be relegated to support for this Blanc, I think. Or they could do another Jean. It'd be funny if they did. But, okay, sure. And she's going to be up until the 31st of May. Interesting. So she's going to be up the entirety, almost 2 months worth of time, because it says 4/9 to 5/31. Damn. Okay. I mean, sure. And also, I mean, they could go that kind of crappy route that I was talking about earlier, where it could be a zero-cost skill, kind of like the second anniversary Shizu has, where it's just that skill reset, which I think if they do go down that route, it's really going to hurt her, as far as being super damaged, because this skill, no one uses the skill. No one uses the Shizu. Straight up. I haven't used the Shizu since her meta came out 7 months ago. All right? She's not a good unit. So if they give it to Blanc, kind of an L. If they give her another double stacking like attack buff or something, that's big time right there. And it's going to make her do literal stupid amounts of damage. But we can only hope, and we will find out in how much time until that stream? Let me pull that link up. And we have 31 hours until the stream, April 9th, 4 a.m. my time, where we find out at least this unit's kit. So, I don't know, maybe when I wake up tomorrow, they'll have another one with a different element, and it's for somebody else, and it's going to be what I assume is Jean, or Guy, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? But I think this is a strong start out of the gate, zero cost. Especially, again, I mentioned it, but if you put her with, Protector Rimuru from Overlord, he's going to be resetting this, so it's always zero cost, and you permanent stack, and he's permanently stacking element buff. It's going to be kind of funny. And she's probably going to have enough damage to one-shot anything in the game, regardless of the team you use. Whether you put her on a blue team, or you put her on a green team with Rimuru, she's going to fodderize 99% of the game. So I'm fairly excited now with this halfway kit coming in. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think this second skill will be? Do you think it will be pure attack, or do you think it'll be some kind of weird support gimmick thing? Let me know, but that's it from me. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.